The Manchester United Ten Hag situation is like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can see these two cars are going to crash. You don't want the cars to be a write-off. You don't want anyone to be hurt, but it's going to happen anyway. Just because you don't want that scenario to happen, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I told you all last year he had to go, simply because the man will not change. His tactics are terrible. He plays players to their weaknesses. He did this to David De Gea. He played at the back in the wrong way, and David couldn't handle it because it was to his weaknesses. You know, Sir Alex knew how to play at the back, and for David, to play effectively as a goalkeeper, and he looked like an all-round great keeper under Sir Alex, as he did under all the other managers. Suddenly, everyone was going after De Gea. He's not good enough, he has to go. He can't kick the ball out of defence. Right, he looked like a bad keeper. Ten Hag does this to every single player. It's amazing to me that he buys players and doesn't play them to their strengths. And I don't buy this nonsense that players ain't trying and there's a problem in the dressing room. There are issues. The Rashford situation, for example, Rashford has shown indiscipline last season. He seems to be rolling his sleeves up now, but it should never have been an issue in the first place. And as much as I respect Marcus for what he did during COVID, for all the children of Manchester and around the UK, and I really do respect what he did, whatever his reasons were, PR, whatever, it doesn't matter. He helped people that couldn't help themselves. So Ten Hag has been a problem since last season. In fact, it goes beyond last season. He had a really good first season, or most of a first season. The first two games were a disaster. We went on a great run. We won the League Cup, but from the moment we got bashed 7-0 by Liverpool, our league form has been inconsistent. How much more evidence do you need that this man had to go? Now, Ineos wanted to remove him. It's the worst kept secret in football. Players have told me this directly. People have told me this directly. They were going to sack him. They interviewed a bunch of people and they wasn't happy how those interviews went. They wanted to take more time. And they knew that there was still a lot of support for Ten Hag. So in a lot of ways, they kind of chickened out. They bent the knee and they hoped for the best. But I think they're clever people at Ineos and they've probably got a plan B. The problem with keeping him now I don't think he's going to get sacked anytime soon. If he does get sacked, it's the predictable December and January. These are people who are not going to make a reactive decision. And, you need someone to replace someone. Now, my prediction has been, and it's always been ironic to me, how they brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy. Was this a Ten Hag decision, a suggestion, or was this an Ineos move? It always surprised me that Ruud would come to Man United to teach Marcus Rashford how to score goals, when he could be a manager anywhere. He's a really good manager. He's already proved that. He's a really smart coach, an iconic legendary player, and a really good coach. Whether he's good enough to coach Manchester United remains to be seen. But he clearly is going to be the caretaker manager. I said this at the beginning of the season. When they announced he was staying, I'm not even sure if he's actually signed a deal. I don't think that he did. I think there was a problem with that deal. Ten Hag being stubborn again. I wanted Ten Hag at this club as manager. We all did. We can't pretend that we didn't. We got excited. Something that kind of exposes him as well when he said he's not friends with any other managers. And that kind of concerns me. You need a good relationship with your fellow Premiership managers as well. Fergie was really good friends with Kerbishley, Kinnear, Allardyce. He always have a glass of wine after a game. Mourinho the same, despite his rough exterior. And, people say, we've changed managers before, it won't make a difference. Well, clubs change managers. I mean, Jose had the best post-Fergie season in his first year. Vibrant football, great stats, but it ended badly because it always ends badly with Jose. It's not a debate. It's not an opinion. Ten Hag must be removed by Manchester United. But because they've kept him, because they've chickened out, it's another wasted season.